Kyashi TV every day, anyway, your way with Kyashi TV. Hi, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Kathy. And today we're going to be making a barbecue chicken pasta bake. We're going to be using barbecue sauce, the rotini noodles, ranch, a red onion, chicken, and the first step we're going to do is we're going to boil our noodles. So once you have your water hot and boiling, boil our noodles here. Okay, once they come to a boil, we are going to boil them for 10 to 12 minutes. Okay. And set our timer for 11 minutes. We'll set it for 12 just because the water didn't start boiling yet. By the time it starts boiling, they should boil about 11 minutes, but we can check them for doneness. The next step is we're going to, for the barbecue chicken pasta bake, we're going to cut up our chicken. Well, let's cut up our red onion. Okay. So we're going to dice our red onion. Okay. Put those skins down the sink so that I don't start to corrode. And we're going to cut our onion in half. And then we're going to slice it. Get it nice and diced here. Maybe might be able to see a little bit better over here. Once we get it diced up pretty small, I'm going to put it in a measuring cup. And we're going to cook it a little bit in the microwave, just so it's not too crunchy. Okay, first, let me get my other half of it. Let's get all this in the measuring cup. And we're going to go ahead and put this in the microwave for about 1 minute. Okay, next thing, we're going to cut up our chicken. Okay, we're gonna take our chicken and we're going to dice that up. Looks like our noodles began to boil here. They're boiling, we're gonna put them on our pan and cut our chicken. And like I said previously in another episode, it's a lot easier to cut the chicken when it's frozen or partially frozen. If you want, you can also use a rotisserie chicken, which is already cooked and seasoned. So I'll turn the pan down a little bit.
Alana, come here, the cat's getting into the table. Hurry. She's
Now
going
that the noodles have boiled, we're going to drain, pouring away from ourselves. Just gonna make sure we get all the water off our noodles. Over here, and Let's add a little butter to our noodles just so they didn't stick together. And to do that, you can either use olive oil, vegetable oil, a little margarine, or a little bit of butter. Okay. I'm just gonna mix it around here. And as we're cutting up our chicken, we're putting it into a pan. Start cooking. So we're going to finish cutting up our chicken now that our noodles are done. And when we're done cutting up the chicken, we're going to cook it in the pan. We have our chicken cut up. Gonna put it in our pan. And while we're doing that, we're going to set our oven at 350. 350 degrees. Gonna go back to our chicken. I'm gonna turn up the heat a little bit so it's done. So like I said, you're gonna cook it till there's no longer any pink. While we're doing this, our oven is getting heated to 350 degrees. And when our chicken is all finished, we're going to mix everything together and put it in our baking dish here that we have. So while our chicken is cooking, we are going to get that the chicken is all cooked. We're gonna take our noodles. We are going to add our chicken. Okay. And we're going to add our can of tomatoes, and I'm not going to drain these just so that it makes our mixture a little bit moister. Okay. 1 cup of barbecue sauce, and if you want, put just a little bit extra in. Seems like it's almost taking the whole 18-ounce container of barbecue sauce. So I'm just going to tip it upside down and let it run to the top. Barbecue sauce, and mix, and let's see, 1.5 cups of ranch. So I should get first. And so 1. Keep mixing. 1/2. Have an extra bottle just in case. And have enough. It's almost enough, but it doesn't seem like it's quite enough. Let it drain down for a minute. While we're waiting for that, let's go ahead and add our red onion to our mixture. And the reason we microwaved our red onion for about 2 minutes, or microwave yours until it's soft, so that's not crunchy. Okay, let's mix this around. Mix the noodles up. Okay. It is looking great. Okay, let's see how this is coming along. I'm gonna go ahead and open this one, just to make sure we have enough. Make sure we have the whole half a cup that we need. And it looks like we do. Little one. We're gonna add the half a cup because it's 1.5 cups of ranch. Get it all in there. Get the noodles all moist. Okay, I'm gonna see about how this is going, barbecue. And we're just gonna put a little bit extra in. So basically we're using a whole 18 ounces of barbecue sauce, which is a small container. I'm just gonna keep holding it upside down. And I'm gonna keep it upside down and let's see. Okay, now that we have that, we're going to put in 15 ounces of corn. Our mixture. Just keep mixing. Mix our corn in. Make sure you get the corn mixed in evenly, so it's throughout our mixture. And then we're going to pour this mixture into our baking dish. So we're going to come over to our baking dish. After we get it all in our dish, we're going to top this with our mozzarella cheese. Going to top it with 2 cups of mozzarella. Sprinkle this on top. So once we have our mozzarella cheese on top there, we're going to top it with a sheet of aluminum foil and bake at 350. I'm going to bake this for about 20 minutes with the foil, and then I'm going to remove the foil and bake it for another 15 minutes. So cover it up. Put it in our oven. Bake it for about 20 minutes. Set our oven. And when we come back, we're going to remove the foil and bake it a little more. Okay, so after your timer goes off and you've had it in the oven a good 20 minutes, we're going to remove that foil. Being careful not to burn yourself on the steam. And we're going to go ahead and put it back in for another 15 to 20 minutes. So we're going to set our timer. We'll set it for 15 and see how it looks after 15 minutes. Okay, see you then. Timer went off. We're gonna get this out of the oven. Woo. And it looks good. So we're gonna go ahead and hope it tastes as good as it looks. Ooh. Okay. here. Okay. Let's cover it. Add our seasonings. And let's see how it is. Heard good things about this recipe. So. Delish. Really good. Okay, this was our chicken, our barbecue chicken ranch bake. How did you like it, assistant?
Very good.
Great. Okay, now, come on. Come join us. And we'll see you next time on Cooking with Kathy. Okay, Lorna. Okay, welcome back. I usually don't do this, but for this show, it's going to be an exception. For the barbecue ranch chicken bake, just let me say, it's a one-time dish. And that means once you try it, you're never gonna want it again. One time, baby. So, as you can see, have some left. My assistant didn't like it. I didn't like it. My videotaper didn't like it. So, one time only, folks. Okay, and with that being said, I think our next episodes will not be containing any noodles. We're going to be trying some low-carb dishes. Okay. Hey, what was your opinion?
I didn't like it either.
Okay, so anyway, that's all. See you next time on Cooking with Kathy.
Mousy TV with Kathy, Mousy TV with her cats, Delicious TV with Kathy, Kathy TV, watch it every day.